We're Britt and Mike, and this is our dog Leah. We're currently working on converting our new Ford Transit van into a home on wheels. Last week, Mike installed our 2 half-slider bunk windows and started insulation. In this week's video, we're using 3M Thinsulate and spray adhesive to finish insulating our walls, doors, and ceiling.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is van build week 4.
And Britt just spilled coffee in our new van.
Okay, you don't have to tell them that. It is Thanksgiving week and we are continuing insulation. We left off on our last vlog. We had just started the insulation and we are using 3M Thinsulate and adhesive spray. The van is no longer clean and shiny and new. It has now been christened with oat milk latte.
I was literally just going to say it's been christened. So.
It is the first time, but it won't be the last time.
At least we're being honest.
Yeah.
All right. So it's starting to get a little late out here today, so I thought I'd fill you guys in on kind of what's been going on here with the insulation process. I've gotten most of the cavities, I've gotten basically everything on top done, including in between all the ribs and the inside here. So those are all looking good, both sides. And then I've got this big cavity down here, and all of the bottom, except for I'm still working on these ribs down here. I'm leaving these spots blank for now on both sides because I need to figure out where our shoreline and our water hookups are going to go. And drill out those before I put insulation in those locations. And then the same goes for this back rear panel here on the ceiling. I still have to mount the entry point for the solar panels. So I'll have to drill a hole and put a box basically on the roof up here somewhere, probably right here in the middle somewhere. I could do that back up in here. There's a little gap here, so I could possibly do it in there, but I'm probably just going to do it here in the middle somewhere. So yeah, it's coming along. I've got a couple ceiling panels done. Seems like it's holding really well. It's not going to, I put these up here a couple hours ago. Haven't moved at all. Interesting fact, the rolls of this stuff are 60 inches wide, which is exactly wide enough to go from one side of my ceiling all the way to the other side. So I don't have to make any special cuts or anything like that. It's just one big cut and I can just pop it up there. Now when I do around the air conditioner and the fan here, I'll probably have to get a little creative. I also need to do under the headliner here, inside the slider door over here, and inside the rear doors. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a big deal out of it, but I can't really get into these panels without cutting into them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do insulation up here or not. This whole rear window is going to be not great for insulative properties anyways, so I don't know. Maybe let me know in the comments if you have any ideas about that. That's where we're at. It's kind of slow going right now, but once I get all these big areas cut out and glued into place, then I can start working more on the ribs and the smaller areas that are, probably gonna be a little bit tougher to get insulation into. So that'll be fun. One other thing, I took off the wiring harness cover on the driver's side. So you can see now I just have this big wiring harness going across here now. And I think I'm going to try to move these overhead lights to the under bed area in the garage so that when you open up the doors in the rear, these lights should come on. And it looks like those go right into the wiring harness here. There's a little clip here. They go into the wiring harness and they go towards the back of the van, which is perfect.
Mike sprayed the 3M adhesive today with this hat on. And there is glue on the hat.
It dripped down off the ceiling onto my trucker hat, which
no.
Obviously has little holes in it. It got right in my hair. I went to take my hat off and it was glued down. I was like, what the hell? Oh. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday. It's about 2 o'clock and I got a little late start today because I was cleaning the apartment and trying to get ready for Thanksgiving. Still got a little bit more to do there, but I thought I would come in and get a little insulation done the day before it gets dark. So it's been pretty slow going. I think I've probably spent about 8 hours on it already, and I still got quite a bit to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep plugging away. You'll notice I am wearing different colored plugs today. I lost one yesterday. I don't know where. I'm hoping it turns up in the van. We'll see. It might look a little goofy in these videos for a while though. So yeah, let's get started. And just like that, speak of the devil, just found my other tunnel on the shop floor in the garage, so starting off well. I'm taking off the door panel on the slider door, and I just kind of wanted to show you what that looks like. There are a bunch of these little tabs here. They've got a little plastic plug that goes in there, and the way that I'm taking those out is there's a little slot on either side. I'm slotting 2 screwdrivers in on both sides, and I'm carefully pinching them out of there. I think they make a specialty tool for taking these type of things out, but there's no need for that. And then on the bottom here, there are 4 screws, which I've already taken out. And they're actually star bits. So luckily I had a bit for my drill, for my driver, that fit perfectly. The only one that's kind of tricky is the one down. There's one down here inside this door. I had to open the door, and then I had to actually take this piece off of my driver. It's too long. And I actually plugged this directly into the driver, so it looks like that. Just so I could fit down that tiny little space and pop it off. You could always do this by hand, but you know, just to save some time, I've used my driver. Cool. Now that I got that off, I'm gonna go ahead and take this panel off and insulate behind it. Alright, so as you can see there, because this door has all sorts of parts in it, mechanical parts for the actual slider, there's this plastic with a little bit of sealant. Seems kind of similar to the butyl caulk. From my understanding is you can just peel all this off very carefully and then put it back up when you're done. Okay, so yeah, I've started peeling this off. It looks like it comes off pretty easily. Just kind of being careful not to stretch this stuff out too much. So like everything else, it looks like this is going to be kind of slow going, but not difficult. Alright, so it's been maybe 5 minutes and I've gotten the first one off. This stuff, I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty much exactly like butyl tape, so it peels off pretty easily. Looks like it's held together pretty well, and it'll help keep this door nice and sealed once I put it back up here. You can see all the components in here. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna put a little masking tape over that, or just be very careful, try not to spray it with the adhesive. I don't want to get any of that goopy adhesive on this stuff. Still got to remove this piece, but that shouldn't take long. All right, insulation is in place in the door. It looks pretty clean, I think. Honestly, I didn't use a lot of adhesive because the wiring and the shape of the panels with these little ribs on the outside and all that stuff, they kind of hold a lot of this insulation in place. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it to fit, and then like in the corners, if I can, I'll just peel it back a little bit, spray a little adhesive in the corners, and just tack it on just like a little bit at a time. And that seems to be working really well. It's not going anywhere. And if something ever happens and I have to get in this door and pull this insulation out, I'm not going to be struggling with it. So cool. Now to put this thing back together. Just a little tip for putting these things back on, these plastic sheets I mean. Line up your holes and just kind of barely tack it on and make sure it's nice and flat, and then go around the edges and smooth everything out. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for today. Pick you up again tomorrow and hopefully knock the majority of the rest of this out, because I'm getting pretty sick of doing insulation. Good morning. It is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm going to be in here today doing some more insulation and really trying to wrap as much of this up as I can before tomorrow, because we're not going to be working tomorrow and I need to make some headway on this. So first things first today, I'm working on these back door panels. I got the first one off. It was very similar to the side panel with some little differences. I'll show you. So panel's off already. You can see it had the same plastic seal around. I've already taken that off. It goes in a little bit differently than the side panel. There's no screws in this one. And instead of having the little plug pieces on the front that you pop off, there's just these pieces in the back. And you can just kind of pry this off. I didn't even use any tools. I just grabbed underneath it with my hand and just pulled it, popped a couple of these out, and realized how simple it was, and just popped the rest of them out.
Want to tell us what you've done here?
Yeah, so I've removed both of the foam inserts that go in these gaps here. So now I can kind of see down inside the headliner area. I can see where my airbags are, which is going to be important for when we want to mount our headliner shelf. The only thing holding these foam trim pieces, inserts, whatever they are, in place are these little clips, these little plastic clips. The easiest way that I found to get them out was to take a pair of needle nose pliers, get them underneath the end, and pry out the ones on the end. So these ones are kind of out here. You kind of pop those out. Makes it pretty easy to get the first one out. Then the second one, somebody suggested using vice grips in a blog that I read, but kind of damaged it a little bit. I didn't like that, what it was doing, so I just gave up on vice grips and actually just grabbed the foam at the top and in the middle here and just gently pulled on it, and it just popped right out. So really all I would have to do this would be take off these two side bolts and then unclip these like that. What I was trying to do was based on an older style Transit, and that was unhook these bolts here in the front, and then you could slide the whole thing forward and down. But with this center piece on the glass here, which I think is newer, only on the newer Transits, it really wasn't sliding forward, and I think I would have to take all those other pieces off, and it just didn't seem like it would be necessary to do what we need to do. So, and you don't want to just pull on this, because the clips, the plastic pieces here are held on with like adhesive. If you rip on it, you could tear that adhesive off, and now those clips are basically useless. There's actually like little inserts where you can like put your finger inside the clip, the plastic part, and pinch it real tight. Now then you can pull on it without damaging the headliner or the clips. You see, like right in the front of these clips, there's like a little part you can put your finger in. So you can slide your finger in there, and you can kind of just use that to pull down on it, so you're not worried about damaging that adhesive. So now I've got enough of a gap here that I can cut a piece of insulation that'll fit this. It should be 26 inches deep from what I just measured. And then all I have to do is use something to kind of push it down all the way in the cavity, and then I'll probably glue it in the corners here just a little bit. Alright, now I just gotta finagle this big piece in here. This is probably the biggest one I've cut so far.
Nice.
Cool. There you have it. Just like that, we have insulation above our headliner shelf.
Nice.
Pretty easy.
Just like that, after
Just
what,
like
2
that.
hours of trying to figure out how to get the top off?
2 hours of trying to figure it out, but about 2 minutes of cutting the insulation and actually putting it in once I figured it out.
Nice.
So hopefully this will help someone else out there, make this a lot easier for them.
Good job.
In the corners here, on both sides, I'll probably use a little bit of the spray adhesive, as well as right here in the middle. It's kind of dipping down.
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be fine even if it wasn't, even if I don't adhere it right there, but I think just a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't move around, make sure,
Yeah.
you know. Insulating your van will show you all the little places in your van that are meant to hurt you. I had a coach in high school, and he was a PE coach, PE teacher. He used to say, this locker room is made to hurt you. These vans are made to hurt you. Every single little area of the van has like these little, I'm not sure what these are, rivets or whatever these are, where you see the insulation catching on them. There's little shards of metal like this sticking out. You know, I just caught my glove on a shard of metal.
Oh my gosh.
Same thing here. So just be very careful when you're doing this because you will cut yourself up if you're not being a little mindful of it.
Wow.
So normally you're supposed to wait like 30 seconds to a minute to tack this up, but this isn't going anywhere anyways. It's not holding any like weight or anything like that, so it's fine from my experience just to go ahead and once you spray it on, you can go ahead and glue it up. Also be careful, this will get gunked up and then it'll shoot spray out every which direction. So okay, so I've spent the last couple hours just trying to shove as much Thinsulate into like all the beams and the crossbars and all this type of stuff into all the little gaps and crevices that I can. Headliner's done, rear doors are done. I got this side insulated. I'm just gonna do this side now. I ran out of our first roll. I'm just using whatever's left of it for the ribs and stuff. So yeah, it's coming along.
Nice.
Definitely, and it's noticeably sounds different in here.
Yeah.
And like, it's cold outside. It's in the 50s outside. I'm in here in a t-shirt, and I feel great. Like it's the insulation in here is already noticeably different.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's cool.
Bunny. Oh, can you say happy Thanksgiving? Look, look. Can you say happy Thanksgiving? Oh, thank you. Good afternoon. It is Thanksgiving and we have a short van build week with the holiday. We're taking the day off. And so we thought we would just give you a little clip that nobody asked for, which is Brittany and Mike cook vegan Thanksgiving. So Mike's over there chopping vegetables.
Hi guys.
And we are doing mashed potatoes, cornbread stuffing, cranberry sauce, mac and cheese, pumpkin pie, a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll show you what we got set up today.
So satisfying.
Roll number 2. Happy Saturday.
Hey guys.
We did not work on the van Thursday because it was Thanksgiving, as you saw, and we also took Friday off to run some errands, do some things around the house. So since I had a short work week, I get to help.
Yep.
Yay, so we are continuing with insulation.
Yep, we got a lot of more insulation to do. Well, not that much, but still, we've got a lot more insulation left to use.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use all of it.
Yeah. Cool. This can't be right. There has to be a better way. Should I pull my hair out?
I don't know.
Should I go under my hair?
I don't know, maybe that'll look better. I don't know.
There, you can't tell. It's so funny how it does look like a warm blanket.
They use this stuff to insulate jackets and stuff.
Yeah, it looks so cozy. Alright, as we are finishing up the insulation vlog, I thought we could talk a little bit about Thinsulate, why we picked it. So the main three sort of insulation options that we were aware of when we started the build were spray foam, wool, and Thinsulate. And so this is our 3M Thinsulate. It's made of insulating synthetic fiber, and it used to be marketed as an alternative to down for jackets and sweatshirts and sleeping bags and things like that. So we ended up picking Thinsulate for a few reasons. There are a few benefits, one being that it's hydrophobic, so it doesn't absorb moisture. It doesn't off-gas. It's not treated with any chemicals or anything like that. It's just these fibers and this black backing here. So it's all fabric. It doesn't lose fibers and it's not itchy. It is vegan and cruelty free, and it seems to be the least expensive option if you're comparing spray foam by a professional. The major con for Thinsulate is the adhesive that you have to use is this like poisonous spray. Do you have the bottle? So this is the 3M 90 high strength adhesive. It smells really bad, so you have to wear like a filtering mask when you're using it. We sprayed the walls on Wednesday, and then we came back on Saturday morning and it didn't like smell like glue or anything when we opened up the van. So the smell doesn't like hang around. So we paid $600 with free shipping for 70 linear feet of the Thinsulate. And we just bought it on eBay and it came pretty quickly. I'll put a picture right here of the Seller Impact products, and they've sold 5,800 of these. So that's where we got it. And the Thinsulate comes on a roll that is 5 feet wide, which is great because it can fit across the ceiling really well. It's like basically the perfect length to do across the top of the ceiling. So yeah, I mean, we haven't lived in it yet, but we're pretty happy with our choice so far. Are you happy with the choice?
Yep, I like it.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. It's Monday, the week after Thanksgiving. I'm in the van today doing some final touches on the insulation. As you can see here, I have a pretty decent amount of insulation left from my second roll here. So what I'm probably going to do is go ahead and double up the walls on both sides. We've already doubled up the top here. It's really loose, so I'm not squishing the insulation in there or anything. Yeah, just figure we'll try to use as much of this stuff as possible. You'll see right here in this back section on both sides, I still don't have any insulation on these walls. And that's because I'm not entirely sure how I want to go about insulating these areas. We have plenty of insulation to do around those windows and that whole panel. The only issue that I have is that I'm 6'2", and we plan on sleeping in here sideways, side to side. So there's just enough room for me to sleep sideways in here and hopefully not have to bend my knees too much and curl up in a ball or anything like that to sleep. So I'm not trying to cannibalize any of that space and just maximize as much of the space as possible. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so that's going to do it for this vlog. Follow along next week as we get into mounting the propane tank, maybe swivel seats, maybe, and drilling some more holes in the van. Should be fun.
Cool. All right, thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Whoa. Wow. These things come packed down pretty good.
This is an Oscar the Grouch origin story.
When Dad first started raking up the leaves, he asked me if I thought they would all fit in that toter, and I said not a chance. So I am being proven wrong in this moment. Oh my God.
Look at how much room I made. So much more room for activities. Hashtag Bandad, right?
Oh my God.
Hashtag.
You heard it here first.